And this does not end well as he's going to be out of bounds here at his own 5-yard line. So here are the Jaguars now with a long field ahead. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the seaon. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 23 carries, 75 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Don't forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
380.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And he is finally out of bounds across midfield at the 40-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 more there and another 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Here we go.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And it's 3rd and 4.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
380.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical, and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers? 1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss. Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Mahomes now on first down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Bobby Wagner coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play on third down for the Texans. 53 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
There we go.
On first and 10, here's Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. On second down, here's Bortles. Shark's got it left side, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all?
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Blue 45, blue 45.
On first down, Mahomes. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Gonna need better protection here. Third and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Mahomes now to throw. And he's gonna go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now look at him go. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 30. And now out comes Houston, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got it at the 15. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. It's a big play on 3rd down for the Texans. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Left, 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 left.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a 3rd down.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down, they hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And now out comes Houston. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Green 90.
Mahomes will try again on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They come out here in the I. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. He'll get it up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Flush to his right. And that is going to be incomplete. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Bortles leads the Jags up first and 10 at the 34. Throwing is Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
380.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
I remember playing, and from a safety's perspective, when you saw a toss play and trying to see guys get to the edge and get outside, that was always a tough moment because where do you go to pick up the ball carrier? If they seal the edge and seal the perimeter, they're going to bounce that outside. It's a lot longer run, and you've got to make sure your angle is right because once they get to the edge, they're going to pick up good yardage. Your job now is to make sure they don't go all the way for a touchdown. You have to become an excellent tackler against a lot of bodies out leading the run.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They do go for it. It's Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A handoff to Fournette, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
380.
Again, it's Fournette. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And, you know, he may not have the franchise tag, but I bet they're relieved to have that deal done, keep him around.
And he's a good guy, a valuable player to them, and they wanted to make sure they had him around. Good team chemistry. Always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
Open man is Westbrook, complete. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. Fournette on the counter, and he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
To throw is Bortles. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Toward the sideline, did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
380.
Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, they'll throw with Bortles. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Bortles to throw once more. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now Bortles. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers...
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He finds his target, Fuller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Black 58 rail.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And they'll get this down to the 10. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now a handoff looking right. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
They get it to him running left. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on what could be a pivotal 3rd and goal now in a tie ball game. Now they'll run it on the toss. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep it.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And that one? Oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Interesting. Mahomes wants to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now they'll run it on the toss. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And on the ground they go with a running back. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is indeed good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
380. 380.
One final try now for Bortles. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it. And this one's over.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands.